Let's look to this week quickly. I know we're taking up some serious time here. Maybe Paul does offer something. He keeps us in check.
He does.
And, doesn't let us run off the rails. But we will look at the Thursday night game, Bunnies Broncos. I'll start with the stats, as we always do. The last 10 have been split 5 apiece. Bunnies have won 3 of the last 4, though. Average winning margin by the Bunnies in those, 31.
Ooh.
Bunnies have won 3 straight at home. They're at home again. The home team has won 7 of the last 10. The under has hit in 5 straight. The average total points scored in those 5 is 36. And the average total set by the bookies is just a tick under 44. This week's total is 39.5.
Okay.
Initial thoughts there, Blake, on the Bunnies versus Broncos?
Yeah, look, I love everything the Broncos are doing, and I think the Rabbits are building slowly. So I'm expecting a real close. I know that the stat man's usually right. I just go for a bit of a feel here and there, and I think it's going to be a close encounter. I think Stags is got one hand on that Origin jersey, and this is the game. I know he's not directly up against Campbell Graham, but I think if there's a couple of people that you want to knock off, you got Talakai last week. I think you need to play better than Campbell Graham again this week. And, then the last person might be a Crichton from Penrith. But I think Stags are going to have a big game. But I just think the Bunnies team, with now that Haas and Capewell are out, that's 2 massive outs. And I know they get Carrigan back, but Payne Haas is the best prop in the world. So I think the Rabbits in a close one, 1-12.
Pops, where are you leaning?
Yeah, I think you're right there, Blake, with no Haas and Capewell. I mean, that's huge, isn't it? Broncos did a great job to be able to cause the upset, didn't they? In round number 1, they had no Adam Reynolds. So Reynolds against his old club, that all those sort of matchups are great, aren't they? And we get to see him back in Sydney. There's Adam Reynolds, and he's been a massive help for the Broncos side. I've certainly been impressed with Blake Taff at the back there for the Rabbitohs. I mean, he's obviously filling some pretty big shoes of Latrell Mitchell, but things seem to be starting to work. And of course, they're obviously their edge has been Alex Johnson as a constant try scorer. But it will be interesting again this week, though, won't it? With them looking to play their left-hand play. And you've got Talakai. You're up against not Talakai, Stags. So that's again going to be a massive matchup there, as you pointed out there, Blake. But I've just got a feeling the Rabbitohs will just be a touch too good late in the piece. Good contest, but might get over the top of them in the last 15.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Bunnies have been building well from round 1. They got sort of shocked in round 1. I don't think they were the best team, their best. Their own best selves in round 1. So Adam Reynolds, huge in this time round for the Broncos. Tomato Mutton, he played awesome last week. Again, could be a factor. But, yeah, I'll go Bunnies just as well. Next one I've picked, the Panthers versus the Eels. Panthers flying high, top of the table. And as we spoke on, the Eels need to do something. Stats-wise, it's not looking good for Eels fans, I'll tell you that much. The home team has won 4 of the last 5 in this fixture. The Panthers have won 4 straight. Panthers have won 8 of the last 11. With that said, it's been pretty close. Total has gone under in 12 of the last 13. The total has only gone over 40 once in the last 13, and that was, I think, 2 games ago. The Panthers beat them 40-6. The margin has actually only exceeded 10. The winning margin has only exceeded 10 twice in the last 11 games.
Yep.
So traditionally a very close game. Where are you leaning, Blake?
Look, I was on here last week when we said when are the Panthers going to get beat, and I tipped this week. Look, I'm here to rescind that statement, and I don't think they're going to get beat this week. But like you said, it's going to be a close game. We already spoke about Dylan Brown back at 6. I think look, Penrith, Parramatta aren't going to put two bad performances in, but I know Penrith are almost unbeatable at out at Penrith. So, look, short and sweet. I think Penrith will be too strong in a close one, and I think they'll just get it 1-12.
Yeah, Pops.
Yeah.
The Panthers boys probably would have taken last week's 14-point win almost like a loss. You'd have to think a bigger performance this week.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? And back at home, well, they haven't lost here since 2019 or something like that. So they're so hard to beat on a Friday night match in Penrith. The Parramatta Eels, they're going to be up against it, aren't they? So the one key player that I want to mention in this match is Brian To'o. Now, he is on the reserves. Does he work his way into the starting lineup? And if so, who does he come in for?
Can't be May. Can't be May.
Nah,
He's on fire.
I'd be holding him back until I can't say he's 100% fit. I'd be holding him back right until I can see he's back to his best, because, I mean, they're flying at the moment. And like you said, May, that's a great question. And you'd sort of feel...
Got to be Staines, surely.
Yeah. See, I'd like imagine Tyler May and To'o bringing it back. It does a lot more damage to your defensive line, so I'll probably go to you there, Carl. Staines.
Yeah, interesting one. I've got the Panthers winning a tight one too. In the final game of the round, the Sharks versus the Warriors. This has got shades of a couple of weeks ago in terms of stats. Strap in, folks. It's not good. The favourites have won 6 of the last 10 and 4 of the last 5. The Sharks have won 14 of the last 21 of this fixture. The Sharks have won 4 of the last 5 and 8 of the last 10. It's not great. Again, though, been pretty close. The margin in the last 3 games hasn't been any more than 8. It's been 2, 8, and 8. 10 of the last 15 have gone under. Unders hit the last 3. 34 points is the average number of points scored in the last 3 games. And the total this week is set at 42.5. Oh, what do we think?
Do you want to go first, Pops? Or do you want me to?
Yeah, look, I'll go first. I guess with all those things you've said there, Carl, how are the Warriors paying $4? Because you would have to say that this is a match that Cronulla have played really well, apart from last week. They even played well in a loss against the Melbourne Storm, didn't they? They proved that this is a year that they are going to be a serious side. They're pushing for top 4. They are one of those teams that can work their way into being a top 4 side. So if that is the case, when the Warriors come up against those type of teams, it's normally in the losing column, and we don't have a good record against the Sharks. So how on earth are we paying $4 and not $6.50? And that's purely because we have a massive fan base here that love backing the Warriors each and every week. I mean, look at that Melbourne Storm game. It was weighted towards the Warriors in terms of betting, which is really hard to believe, isn't it? And the result afterwards will tell you that as well. Look, I think the Sharks are a really good side. I think they're a dangerous team in the competition. So as much as I'm a Warriors fan and I'm stripping that away, I think the Sharks are going to be awfully hard to beat at home.
Thanks. I was trying to get you to plead a case for me or something. I've got no case for the Warriors at all. And I was coming on here ready to be Paul Mawati and, back against them every week. And I was hoping some pushback, but it seems like I think we're all on the same path. We spoke about the Storm sort of being on a bit tired over the last couple of weeks from that. The Sharks from that Storm game when they played the Storm. Such a tough matchup. The last couple of weeks, the results are sort of, that second half against Manly, still a bit weary from that Storm game and sort of on the weekend. But now they've got a Thursday night to a Sunday night turnaround. So almost a week and a half. All the players will be rested. I have at PointsBet Stadium, they've been unbeatable this year. I can't plead a case at all for the Warriors. I think this is going to get ugly.
Yeah. Look, I think one thing we need to probably address as well is Nico Hines last week. Now, it was the first time we've seen Nico Hines under a little bit of pressure. And and maybe looked a touch lost because the Brisbane Broncos, they defended gallantly, didn't they, last week? So, Blake, do you feel as though that is an area that the Warriors can try and channel some of their defence towards him and try and make some off decisions, try and get him off his game, and try and rattle the Sharks somewhere along the key playmaker?
Yeah, and I think they would have looked at it this week. Definitely 100%. Try and, get him a bit tired, make those tackles. And last week, Broncos, we spoke about what a great job they did. But look, to be honest, I think that whatever happened last week and the week before is just an after effect of playing the Storm. I sort of rubbished it a couple of weeks ago, but now looking back, hindsight, great thing. Looking back now, I think that Storm game just took such a toll on the Sharks team that's newly brought together, and they're still trying to figure themselves out as well. So I think as much as, trying to prove some points for the Warriors, that's what they should do. I think the Sharks will still be too good no matter what they throw.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think looking at the teams man for man, I feel like the forward pack, we've probably got them covered. Finucane a big in for them though. But in the forwards, I think we can handle ourselves pretty well. It's the backs, and in particular the 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Warriors. And they use so heavily these days, all teams bringing them out the back end or, getting a set started. Ramian and Talakai are the, two of the best centers going around at the moment. And, we've got two of the sort of younger, more raw centers starting for us and Vilea and Rocket Berry. We saw what Talakai did to Manly in the first 20, 30 minutes of that game. I don't want to say it out loud, but I feel like it could happen again. Yeah, I fingers crossed for a Warriors win. I'd love to see them, as we say, bring the Sharks down to our level and scrape in another win. But I hope Paul's not watching this.
I reckon, Carl, that's a great game for a same game multi. Look to play a Talakai, Ronaldo, even go and they go right with Katoa. I mean, they're three guys that could really get their hands on the ball. And then if you wanted to include some sort of Warrior inclusion, well, that's where you find your favorite Warrior player to try and score a try. You look that way if you're a Warrior supporter, to try and include a Dallin or a Pompey or a Walsh or someone like that to score a try with those three players. That would be my sort of play, anchoring around those three players from the Sharks to score a try, and then sort of take 3, 4 different same game multis with different players included.
Well, you need someone to pump it up, because if you only take those three to score, you're only getting $5.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Chuck Ben Murdoch Masilla in there or something like that for Yeah, I like it. I like it as an option. And same with the Storm game too. Just load up on. If you chuck Murdoch Masilla in there, blows out to 26s. There you go.
There you go. I like that. But yeah, the Storm game, you could almost just cover your eyes and pick a player. Away we go.